Shalom, friends. You know, I live in a lovely residential neighborhood, and the nice thing about it is that there are no traffic lights at the end of each corner. Of course, on the busy intersections, there are traffic lights, and you're required to wait the minute and a half, or depending on how they're synchronized. But at the end of each block, essentially, you're free to continue going. All you have to do is stop, look at the stop sign, reflect for a couple of seconds, look on both sides, no pedestrians, no other traffic, and you continue. Now, I think it's obvious to all of us why we need stop signs. It protects the pedestrians. It certainly protects the driver of the car, that he should not get into any accidents. But at times, at night especially, I find it very irksome. I mean, it seems to me there's no one on the street, and I could actually see through the peripheral vision that there's no one walking. So why do I have to stop? And yet the law says that you should stop, and of course I try to obey the traffic laws and I stop. Of course, when you think about it just a moment later, you realize the importance of always stopping at a stop sign, because it develops an awareness that don't take the street for granted. You never know if there is a pedestrian that will just suddenly appear, maybe a bicyclist. So the very fact that you always stop and you look from both directions before you go further is really very healthy. And even at night, when at times it seems unnecessary, the very fact that you keep on doing it again and again and again and again, it develops this almost second nature that before you go further, you make sure that there are no pedestrians or obstacles in front of you. Now, it occurred to me that sometimes the most powerful lessons in life are actually gleaned from the most simple of activities. Let me go back 1 second. You stop at a corner and you look and observe. What are you looking for? A, is there an obstacle in front of me? B, if there's an obstacle in front of me, can I avoid it? So, for example, if you were to see a mother and a child or an elderly person walking, you would budget another couple of extra seconds or perhaps even minutes to allow them to go through. If you saw another car, maybe it would only take a couple of seconds before you would continue going. So it's really very important to observe, because then you will be able to ascertain what should be my next level of activity. You know, in real life, I believe if all of us would just remember the lesson of the stop sign, we wouldn't get into any trouble whatsoever. I've never seen a stop sign in the middle of a street, so let me suggest the following. All of us have a comfort zone or a safety zone. Within that comfort and safety zone, you may go and feel free, actually. Don't feel restricted. After all, this is your parameters, this is your boundaries, this is your space. When you are ready to grow, when you're ready to go out of that boundary, when you're actually ready to cross the street, to go beyond the boundary, don't be impetuous. Stop. Ask yourself a question. If I'm going to go to the next stage, what will I find? What will I encounter? Is there something that's going to stop me? If you just simply would be forewarned with the knowledge, you'd be able to act appropriately. Even if you do recognize that there's a sanitation truck in front of you, so what would you do? You would create an alternative plan. Maybe I should make a right, maybe I should make a left, maybe I should listen to a tape and just relax, knowing that it's going to take another couple extra minutes if I cross the street. Well, in real life, is it not the same way? Think about, what are you going to encounter? Can you overcome it? Can you circumvent it? Is there a way to minimize any type of delay? You know, one of the great Hasidim of the third Rebbe of Chabad had a very strange custom. Before he would say a prayer, or more correctly, before he would say a blessing, he would take his fist, put it on his forehead, and leave it there for like 2-3 seconds. And then he would say the blessing. One day, one of his close associates said, Rebbe, why do you do that? What is this mystical intention of lifting the fist to the forehead? And he laughed. It's not a mystical intention. Actually, when I put my fist to my forehead, that anchors me. And I stop. I don't say the blessing right away. I give myself 2-3 seconds to reflect. What am I going to do? I'm going to eat something. Before I eat something, what should I do? I should bless and acknowledge God. Who is God? The great and infinite creator. Those couple of seconds allows me to make the blessing in a meaningful way. So, my friends, whenever we're walking and we're ready to go next, stop, reflect, and then continue going with the knowledge and with the security that you know where you're going. In all honesty, and I will dedicate a YouTube for this separately, I think in the budget debate, if both sides would follow the lesson of the stop sign, they would come to an accommodation. They would stop and say, why should we or should we not do this? Is there an obstacle? What should we do next? Simple traffic rules will actually enable people to solve very complex issues. Let's hope and pray that we'll continue to go and walk, go and grow, and not get into any traffic accidents, not to bump into any obstacles. And let's hope that this very long stay in Galut, which is a very long stop sign, will allow us to direct our attention to the proper place, which is the land of Israel, and let us all merit to be there way before the days of the 9 days arrive. Amen.